this whole journey is trying to tell you, if you are resonating with the chaser, or if you are constantly feeling that you have been neglected in the childhood, you were not loved enough, and you did a lot for everyone, like taking care of people, working at a very young age, making money, buying things for people, sponsoring their lifestyle, sponsoring their education, or sponsoring medical bills and arrangements. And you're doing this for people who never really show love to you. You're doing this for people who don't care for you actually, but you keep doing it. You do it because you feel it's your duty, it's your responsibility, and your humanitarian values don't allow you to just neglect people and just leave them alone. But universe is doing this for a specific reason and for a specific time frame, so that the day you understand that how you cannot take it anymore, that people just keep using you and discarding you and treating you with disrespect, and at the same time, acting like they are so nice and they are so amazing. That is one way of doing it. Like, people smile on their faces, and with the smile, they will try to kill you with a dagger, literally. This is what backstabbing is. A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this session, I'm going to be talking about the masculine and feminine, understanding the meaning of what it feels and how it feels to be discarded. So how this happens, guys and girls, we'll get into that. And in the meantime, I would also like to tell you that for personal sessions, you can check out the description box and you can write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com once you're sure of what you want to go ahead with. You can also book yourself into a therapy course. Therapy is not one single session. A therapy includes many sessions, number of sessions, which you can check about again in the description box. You can also check out my book In the Name of Love, which is based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. And there are 5 different channel twin flame stories in this book. So usually what is being seen is that how this whole twin flame journey, it starts making sense, or the person or anybody who's involved figures out that they need to work on themselves, they need to do inner work, is through other people, of course. The concept of one in many, the concept of how things work in universe. So through many people, twin flame first of all awakens, goes through the Kundalini Awakening, which is of course not an easy process. Sometimes people get so troubled or so scared, so anxious that they go to psychiatrists who give them some kind of pills and who give them some kind of medication. And then, they have to depend on the medication. That's one way of doing it. Second way that most people follow, because they don't question the process. Some of them are literally quite spiritual since childhood, or they have some spiritual fascination, so they have been reading a lot. So when the ascension symptoms kick in, they don't go berserk, or, they just go through it. So the dark night of the soul is basically the time where a lot of people just experience a strange phenomenon that consumes their life for some time at least, where they don't feel like doing anything, they don't feel like going anywhere, things take sort of a back seat, everything is in a standstill. Now this is also not the time when they learn about inner work. This is the time some of them are quite clueless also. They just feel that this is just life, happening, and things are not working out, and maybe it's followed by a breakup, or it's followed by quitting a job. Now, how to figure out that somebody is a genuine twin flame in this situation? Let me tell you, the privileged and the pampered children, usually they cannot cope up with the dark night of the soul. They cannot, because they have been raised in such a way that the family members, no matter how they will project the family members, usually the people who have this narcissistic personality, and we see this in a runner, because there is an anger sort of that builds up in the mind of chaser towards the runner after a while, because the chaser is chasing the runner, so they don't understand that why the runner is running away. The simplest reason why the runners run away is because they are extremely privileged, they are extremely pampered, and they are very delusional as well. Either they are told that they are very beautiful and they are very good looking, like be it a man or a woman, doesn't matter, and they have the greatest personality and this and that. But those who are very pampered and privileged, they don't see it like that. They always get irritated with the love that comes to them, or they constantly blame their parents, they blame their mother, father, and they do a lot of wrong things themselves, but they blame the other people for it. They will say that my life is like this because of my parents, because of my mother, because of my father. So it is obviously the twin flame who goes through difficult family programming. They go through bad parenting. They are the ones who are neglected. They are the ones who are not given true love. But they never complain. They are the ones who usually don't complain because they never think like that. They never are aware that their own people can also treat them badly. But when they meet this other person who is supposed to, show them something, teach them something, the privileged ones, the narcissistic will say all the things that the empath is supposed to do and say. But the empath, because he's not fully healed, will have a lot of sympathy for that person. If the narcissist says, oh, my parents did not care for me, they did not love me, they did not do this for me, that for me, you should not listen to their talks. You should look at their lifestyle. This is the one thing which I also learned, that every time some kind of a person like this walks up to me and tells me that I don't have this, I don't have that, my parents didn't do this for me, I am such a sad person, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me, I don't have this, you should just ask them questions about their lifestyles, like how much money they earn, where did they study, which school did they go to, which college did they go to, And even if it's not about money, trust me, they could be coming from a humble home, but they would always be given a lot of love and affection, But they have this habit of always coming across as a poor person who should be pitied, and they get a lot of pity love because of that also. Whereas the empath, who's actually been in toxic environments, been in situations and families where they were abused, molested, raped, or some other things, maybe they had extreme poverty, or as I said, that they were put into comparisons, constant comparisons, there was favoritism, lot of extreme materialistic fascination towards things and this and that, and total neglect, they were never hugged or kissed, even cases of hypersexuality. All of this happens to them, but they never speak about it. And then they meet a person who says all the things that they should be saying because they have suffered through it. But then they develop a kind of sympathy for this person, a pity for this person. And through that pity, there is closeness and time is being spent and things happen and blah, blah, blah. For the narcissist, this empath, this person is very nice, very attractive, and the perfect person because they will take care of them. They will take care of them. They know that, So they basically bluff, all the time, or they come across as this victim and, someone in pain. But with time, you will realize that they start turning the empath into the victim. They are actually the predators and, they just want to prey. So purposely, universe has put you in these type of situations or put you in these type of relationships. And if by chance you put a label of twin flame on this person, this narcissistic character, you also start assuming that this is your twin flame, then obviously you will go through more difficulties because you will go on taking their bad behavior, assuming that this is your true love and assuming that you're supposed to be with them for the rest of your life. Many people who came to me for readings and for sessions, they were really shocked to find out that they were actually experiencing a false twin relationship, and they started doing inner work, and later on, the amount of changes they experienced and the happiness they got, and even the false twin, chased them, started following them again. It made them realize that, this person was never really the right person, but my own programming and my own wounds was putting me in a certain type of energy. Then I was attracting this person, and I was going through this hot and cold behavior and being given breadcrumbs, and all of that was going on with me in my life because I was a match to that energy. These things are not there to confuse you. These things are always trying to tell you that in the beginning, it will always look like, there is a separation, and with time you will realize that there is no separation, that the wolf and the sheep, they're actually there to help each other. In some cases you may not do anything, any healing work for the false twin. They will live their own life and they will be happy and, according to whatever and they will do their own things. But they will always remember you as a person. They will have an impact of you on them, especially after you begin your healing and you become more and more healed. Because when you become more and more healed, you actually cut the cord. There is an energetic cord that you have attached with them. When you cut that cord out, you no longer supply them any energy. You're genuinely giving them energy just by paying attention to them, a lot of attention. When you stop giving attention to them, they stop receiving your energy, and you know that energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it can only be transferred. And I'm not talking about people who do inner work, because those who do inner work, eventually they come to this understanding that yes, I am doing this because I was programmed and I was in a rigid programmed pattern. I was in a template. But these are the people who had been the givers. They were not the privileged ones. Okay. So this interaction that happens between a masculine and a feminine, technically it is a twin flame who comes across mirrors. Okay. Many mirrors are present in the life of the twin flame. And this whole journey, this experience is very unique because, as I said, it works on the simple concept of three-dimensional reality as we see it, one in many, which is what the theme of universe is. So you learn about yourself through many other people. You are discovering who you are, but you also discover that everyone is a part of you in that. And that is also, in true sense, a union feeling, because you start seeing yourself in others and others in yourself. Even the people who give you bad experience, even the people, who don't treat you well, you don't see them as like your enemy or something, but you don't take it personally because you understand that you have to very objectively observe everything. You can't put labels of good and bad, for yourself. So if you meet people, yes, for your understanding, that this is a bad experience and so is a good experience, but it is to let you know that both experiences exist. Even in my therapy, I have so many students and I do so many readings. There are some people who are so wonderful that, I feel very blessed that I was in touch with them and I got to do reading for them, or I got to work with them. And they put in a lot of effort, and you can see that effort. They don't run away, when things get difficult. And yes, therapy is designed in such a way, some of the people don't realize it, but it is designed in such a way that it is meant to bring out the things that you need to uproot from your system, which is not going to be easy, because these attitudes and these behaviors, this misery is instilled in you. People have internalized many negative messages, or they have internalized many false messages about themselves. Like when I said delusional people are also there in this twin flame journey. Their delusion is very high because they've been raised in that way. But they are never thankful to other people, leave alone the parents who took care of them, who raised them, who loved them, who gave them everything. See, if you talk to a neglected child, a neglected twin flame, a person who only had to take care of the parents and take care of the adults, take care of the siblings, or earn money and be the ATM machine for the family, only to find out that in future they will get discarded, when they are not needed. Or when they enter the phase of spiritual awakening and this is the time when they need love. They will walk up to the family members and they will expect that, I am going through a very difficult phase. My finances are not working out. My relationships are not working out. I don't want to take up the same type of jobs and which I was unhappy about. I probably just need to take a break and I need to go away somewhere. And maybe the dark night of the soul is kicking in. There is some kind of a depression going on. All of that is going on. And we are not expecting people to suddenly spring up and become very strong. That's the reason why I always tell people that working on yourself, the inner work, it takes time. Please don't expect magical results in 1 hour or 2 days or 3 days or a week. When you do work on yourself, you have to understand that there is a lot of bitterness sometimes, a lot of anger, frustration, confusion. All of that is there, and at the same time, some of the messages are false messages. Somebody just told you that, hey, you look ugly. Or somebody just told you, hey, you just are this or that. And in some cases, when I speak about the privileged people, nobody actually told them that they have bad attitude, they have bad behavior, they discard other people, they use other people, and they are constant complaint boxes, you know. So let me tell you over here, how do the masculine and feminine, they figure out what is this ultimate discard procedure and how it hurts. Okay. So those who are in the inner work or the spiritual awakening or the spiritual warfare, basically these are the people who are the actual twin flames. Okay. The genuine twin flames, they can be obviously men or women. It does not matter. It is not gender specific, my friends. It is energy specific. So some of the people who took the twin flame astrology reading from me, we found out their actual energy. And some of their actual energy, where they thought, they assumed that they were feminines, they turned out to be masculines. Okay. The energy, the yoni was masculine. And their overall energy, which we figure out from the chart, is a feminine energy. Okay. So the masculine and feminine energy both is present in them in equal proportion. And that's how universe has created them, so that they can have a taste of both the energies while being in a same body and while being heterosexual. Okay. So the twin flame journey kicks in like full on when you meet a person with opposite polarity or opposite sex, but having opposite type of energy. So then why have you been thinking that you are the chaser and the other person is a runner? That's because the universe wants you to see it that you are also technically a runner in many cases. And why this twin flame journey is so hard is because you need to work on yourself. You need to find out your flaws, and nobody wants to see their flaws. We all want to see how great we are, how nice we are, how perfect we are, how beautiful we are. This dark night of the soul is also trying to tell you that you are absolutely fine as how nature has made you, how universe has made you. But that energy within you, the programmed energy within you, the ego within you, ego can create many forms, guys. Ego can create different forms, and that's why in narcissism also we have different types of narcissists. We don't have one single type of narcissist. There will be someone who will have a very huge, grandiose sense of themselves, like their identity is very big. They love themselves no matter what. Now that is not self-love either. That is self-loathing. That is vanity. Because you're loving the qualities in you which should not be loved actually, which should be discarded on a real level. Okay. So this game of discard and no contact and punishment and silence and using. If I'll give you an example, okay, and I'll give you such an example that will help you get everything clear, okay. And again, I will say, don't go by the male and female bodies, okay. Don't get confused by that. I am telling you, the runners who come to me for therapy, all the runners who come to me for therapy, because they just sometimes just drop in, A lot of runners are also present in this community. It's just that they are not aware, or they don't mention that, yes, I am the runner. I am the one who slept with someone. I am the one who used someone just because I wanted to. And then I discarded them when I was done. Because I was hanging out with them thinking that, I need it right now. It's my age. It's my time. Or whatever it is. But when I saw that this person is crazy about me, this person loves me, this person cares about me, and most importantly that this person is now depending on me, I am going to run. I am going to discard that person and I am going to run away from that person, and then call myself spiritual and call myself that I am in awakening and I am doing this and I am doing that. Well, ultimately most runners, they suffer a lot. Most runners, they suffer a lot. After they run away and after they assume that they are the ones who are the epitome of love and beauty and everything, and with time they start facing themselves, they start facing the bitterness that has developed within them, or they start realizing that they have been thinking too much about themselves, or you can also say that the person they were involved with, that person moved on too fast, or they moved on in their own pace and time, but the runner could not deal with it. Okay. So today I'm not going to talk about the chaser as much as I'm going to talk about the runner. I have spoken about both in my previous channelings, but this word discard has been given to me specifically in the channelings, and probably the masters want me to speak about it, because this whole process of discarding, getting discarded by someone when they don't need you anymore, is so painful, is so hurtful, that it can actually destroy your belief system. It can destroy anybody who is a genuine person, who's genuinely loving, caring, kind, and who goes out of their way to help people, to take care of the people. So what happens in the twin flame journey also is that the spiritual warrior who is doing, their inner work, obviously since long, it's not like you start doing inner work just like that, it doesn't pop into your system like that. You always had interest in spirituality, or you always felt like, God is your superpower, and you were a responsible person. You were not the person who would run away looking for better places. So when the runners run away, don't think that they don't get their lessons or they don't go through pain. This word backstabbing, you have to understand it. Somebody stabs you in the back, that means that you don't know that they're about to stab you. They are about to wound you. It will always come like a shock to you. You will never be expecting it. You will never be thinking even for a minute that this can happen to you and it would be done by this person. Because in their words and phrases and in their behavior, they are constantly going to, tell you how much they love you, how much they like you, how much you mean to them. So all of these things, these are all very narcissistic things that people do. They like to get the attention, and why they want this attention, please understand there's a reason why you attract such people, and the reason why you are treated this way and you feel bad. It's because you possess something in you. You probably possess a gift, you probably possess a quality, you probably possess some kind of optimism, a shine. So they are very fascinated with you and they want it. They want it very badly. So they take it from you. How they take it from you is they will pamper you, they will love bomb you, they'll do whatever it takes to make you believe that they care for you and you need them, and you will share a lot with them, obviously, because you trust them. You might share your personal life with them. You might share a lot of stories with them. See, but this is the game that happens in runner-chaser dynamic, and that's why I say surrender is so powerful. The runners cannot surrender. The false twin flames cannot surrender. The fake spiritual warriors cannot surrender. The narcissistics, why they cannot surrender is because they actually can never do real-time work. They cannot surrender is because they have this huge codependencies. They have a very big ego, their ego is literally a big delusion. So you can say that literally 60 to 70% of the things they think about themselves, they are not true. That's how bad it is. But how do they get these emotions and these qualities is when they meet someone who they feel can uplift their image, can enhance their image, or in a personal setup can make them feel like very important and special, and they enjoy it, they love it when a person begs them or sort of convinces them or sort of cares for them or feels very bad for them. Basically, they love it when someone gets fooled by them. In this session, I want you to understand, why did you meet a runner in the first place, and why do you keep meeting people who discard you, who use you and discard you, and why does it affect you, and what shifts with the inner work? What shifts with inner work is, number one, people cannot use you. Okay. Number two, they cannot discard you. Like, even if they discard you, they are going to regret that decision a lot. Now, I'm going to give you an example of, once again, the Kardashians. The Kardashians are huge, okay? They are very big in the pop culture. They have a very big influence on people in the worldly world. Obviously, the spiritual community is not very fascinated by them, but there are still a lot of people who admire how they do business, how they live like individual females who don't care about men. or who are, doing their own things. They're famous, they're popular, they're beautiful. But trust me, all of that is fake. All of that is false. That's imaging, that's branding. But they are hardcore narcissist. And if you look at their whole life, if you look at their all of their relationships, how you know that they are toxic feminines is because they have always picked up men who were better than them, always better than them, money, fame, recognition, or they had some fancy job or career, be it sports, be it music, be it anything. A lot of people have been sharing lately on the internet, which exposes them. You can see, like right now, Kim Kardashian is crying and sobbing in the media, saying that she does not want her own son to see the sex tape that she made, which sounds very hypocritical because she has made it available to all the other children, to all the other teenagers and so many people. Even I remember that I had seen it when I was pretty young, few years back. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it was widespread. And she became so popular after that. She was so famous after that. It first happened with Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton was a good friend of Kim Kardashian. She had made a sex tape which went viral, but it brought in a lot of publicity to this lady, Paris Hilton. And Kim Kardashian saw that and she felt that, a sex tape can actually change a person's life. Although Paris and Kim Kardashian are very, two different people, I would say. And that's why you can see that Paris Hilton is not as successful as Kim Kardashian, because she was just rich, she was just born rich and she was just born famous and she had everything going for her. But, it is not easy to maintain that kind of a fame. For that, you have to be a very, in competition, you have to be very cutthroat, okay? And you need to keep moving on and on and on and on. So every time Kardashians date somebody, a man, you can see that they will be with that man and it will look like the perfect romance. And they will reach up to that level of that same man, okay? Like Kanye West is literally the person who changed her life, because she was not an A-lister. She was not such a big celebrity. People always saw her as, she's trying so hard to always be in the fame business. And, there was a lot of bad publicity around her. Even the fact that people would say that her marriage, that 72-day marriage, was completely fake and scripted. And she made millions, and around 2 million, more than 2 millions from that marriage also. So they always attract these men who somehow have something good going on in their life. And you can see this right from Kris Jenner's life, who first was dating a sports celebrity, and then she met Robert Kardashian, and she then cheated on him also, and then she met Bruce Jenner, and then eventually she discarded Bruce Jenner also. So the daughters are literally just doing the same thing. Even if you look at Kylie, she was with Tyga, who was very big rapper at that point in time. But where is Tyga now? So it's literally like you take on to the other person's fame, powers, money, and this and that. This will not work with twin flames. This does not work with twin flames, because sooner or later, the twin flame always comes into their own power. And we always speak about divine feminine and divine masculine as separate, because obviously there are so many people who experience these polar energies. Like, to understand what the whole twin flame dynamic is, you need to be feminine completely and even masculine completely, okay? You need to understand that you are also running away. You are also discarding source and the masters who are always there for you. You call them when you need them. You will do your spiritual practices when you need, when you are very in a bad situation, then you will ask for help and you will do everything required. And once you're okay, then you will start living the toxic things. And these are obviously programmed. So I'm not blaming you for it. I'm saying that the 50% empath in you is also awakening because of divine grace. But once that 50% empath awakens in you, it has to fight with the 50% narcissist in you, okay? And all this information that I'm giving, all of this is very deep, and it will only apply to people who are genuine twin flames, okay? A genuine twin flame will do the inner work, will do what is required from them after they go through a series of episodes and events where they chose the wrong people, but they chose them because they were codependent and they only got discarded. Because when you meet your twin flame, the person you assume to be your twin flame, actually even that is just a mirror. When you meet your mirror, the person who has literally all the polar energies in you, you are like with you as compared to you are very fascinated by their confidence level. You really like them because they say all the things, and they also learn how to gain sympathy. They will say certain things that will make you feel bad for them in some way, and you would want to fix them up. And when you genuinely go to fix them up, for some time it will look like it's all going fine. And if you say anything to them, like if you criticize them a little bit, they will not take it. And that's why I say that most runners who come for therapy, they run away because they don't like to be criticized. They don't like to be pointed out that there is a flaw in them. They don't like to be told that, hey, this is a delusion. And they don't know why they're getting drained. They're simply getting drained because they have been pretending to have some gifts, and that's because they met some people, they saw some people, they interacted with some people who were genuinely gifted. Okay, it could be a lover, it could be a teacher, it could be a friend, it could be anyone. Because I'm not kidding about this, the narcissist can discard anyone. In most of their relationships, they will discard and they will use people, and they will keep on doing this. They will keep on taking from people, taking. They cannot give. The only thing they can give is a little bit of materialistic things, because that's what they possess. They think that if I give somebody a gift or a present or some money, or I take them out for a trip or something, they will be very happy. Okay. And maybe for a chaser who has not been given any love, who has only been given breadcrumbs, when they receive this type of, sort of a flattery or gifting or even attention for that matter, even if it is breadcrumbs, from that perspective also they will accept it, they will take it. But any which way, twin flame journey is very smart because you cannot deceive the universe. I know some people have been completely writing it down, and I know some people have even formed out cults out of it. But you just need to think about one thing, that the people who discard you, do they deserve you? Do they deserve your love when they discard you? So let me tell you, they deserve your forgiveness, and forgiveness is also love. But you need to understand that who they are. If you figure out who they are, if you figure out their reality, their real face, trust me, they can run, they can discard, they can do whatever, but they will learn a lesson sooner or later. In fact, they cannot continue on with you because you are very intense and you are very genuine. So it's like it gives them a lot of difficulty hanging around with you, because whatever they are doing, whatever the runners are doing, even in the spiritual community, even in this twin flame world, the runners are just copying, all the runners are just copying the chasers. But why are they doing this? They just want to show it to the chasers that you are also running away from something. You are also doing something which you should not do, because you are genuine and you have actual gifts. So you should not do it. Just focus on your gifts. Just focus on what universe has given to you. Don't compare your life with other people. Do your inner work. There will be difficult days. There will be easy days. There will be bad days. All of these days will be there. But the runners usually run away from all difficult situations. They always like to escape from difficult situations. Okay? When you start doing inner work, you stop running from difficult situations. Even as a chaser, for example, you are running away from what? Inner work, because you feel that if I do this inner work, it will be very difficult for me. Or if I get into a spiritual lifestyle, or if I accept my spiritual lifestyle and accept that I'm a spiritual person, I could get boycotted from my family. Or if I live alone, how will I live alone? So I need to live with toxic people. Or if I'm working with toxic people and I stop doing that work, how will I earn money? So many examples are there, toxic husband is there, toxic lovers are there, toxic friends are there. But you're also hanging out with them only because you're scared of being by yourself. You are scared that you will die alone and something bad will happen to you, and you're not able to take that leap of faith. So the simplest reason why you get discarded by the runner, is to open you up to the fact that these people are able to discard you, because you are allowing them to discard you. Okay, and you're taking that discard very seriously. They are just doing it because they don't have anything else to do. This is how they gain energy, from one person to another, one to another, one to another, one to another. They just keep moving on, okay? And they just keep taking the gifts. They're just faking that they have these gifts. They just talk in that language. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, the runners also suffer a lot, which is something that the chasers don't know. They don't know this because they have seen the runner having a very perfect sort of a life, or they will project to you things like, they are very healthy, or in the spiritual community also, I've come across people who tell me that I meditate for 2 hours every day. I sit still and I chant and I do this and I do that, but they are in very difficult energies. They are in a lot of pain. They are very miserable. They are very unhealthy. They are experiencing a lot of negative energy. All of this they go through, and this has not happened once or twice. This has happened many times in many cases. And these are the people who want to teach others. These are the people who want to care for others, or at least pretend that they can do it. So when I ask them these questions, like, why are you going through these issues if you can meditate 2 hours in a day, if you have a mission, if you have a purpose, if you are a very spiritual person, if you eat very healthy, and all the things that you're telling me, if you're doing all these things, then why are you so miserable? So, this is the question that haunts them, and this is the question that makes them run away, from inner work. But in the spiritual community, with the spiritual people who are genuine spiritual people, now I have to say this again and again, because guys, I'm noticing this a lot in the twin flame community, that there are some people who pretend to be twin flames, they pretend to be star seeds, they pretend to be light workers, but they are not. They are not. And this is the same with the runner. They will pretend to be your lover, somebody who cares for you, somebody who has the best interest for you in their mind. And this is the same thing that all the adults who raised this spiritual child, gave this child, like, we care for you, we are your best well-wishers, we know what's best for you, we will guide you, we will coach you, you have to do everything that we tell you, you have to please us. Now, they are basically the false teachers. Okay, so you have to be very careful with the false teachers, the adults who, raised you, and then in legacy, they gave you certain qualities as well. So, as I said, half of your personality is of an empath, which is a very beautiful personality. That's a real personality you have. That's your natural personality. You want to give, you want to take care, you want to love, you want to do all those things. But then when the narcissist kicks in, that other side kicks in, which creates sort of a split personality also, it's very hurtful. It's not easy. But then somehow this empathetic nature is hidden. It is suppressed in childhood, okay? It is suppressed by the other people around you who want you to live a fake life or live a completely materialistic life and be a servant of all these people who trained you. Or, you just keep taking care of people all the time. It's not wrong to take care of people. Eventually you will realize that you are taking care of people because you're naturally inclined to do it. The only problem is that the narcissist in you wants to expect, and the narcissist in you cannot figure out how and when to form close bonds and with whom. If a person is suffering, you should just give that person medicine. You should not form a relationship with that person. You should not be like, oh, you are my husband, or you are my lover, or you are my sister, or you are my best friend, or you are this or that. You should maintain that professional boundary with these people, because you will not even realize when they will wrap you around their pinky finger and make you feel like you are so important for them, and then one fine day they will just backstab you. As I said, just put the dagger in your back. So you need to learn from this. You need to be careful from this, that if you want to give to people, give without any expectations, because They cannot give you anything in return. Please understand, those who are taking from you, they cannot give you anything. They cannot give you anything, and they cannot give others anything. So expecting anything from them is wrong. It will hurt you. But the sooner you realize it, you will heal yourself, you will be in better energies. And the person who discarded you, the people who discard you, they will also realize that they discarded you, and you know that. You are aware about that. You're not stupid, you're not dumb, you're not a fool. You know that they are doing this to you, okay? And they want a reaction from you. They want you to feel dirty. They want you to feel sick. They want you to beg to them. They want you to convince them somehow. That's how they get energy. And after you do everything, they will still not get convinced. And by doing that, they're actually trying to tell you that you have failed. But, this is what the problem is with the narcissistic people. They are very stupid, and that's the reason why they need to keep doing this with different types of people. Overall, they will not have, a crowd that will always trust them. They will not get that trust. Like just the way we speak so negatively about Kardashians, all of us, we say that they are fake beauties, they are plastic beauties, they're all about Botox, they are all about, false. They put on the wigs, they put on the fake nails, they put on the fake bodies. They are doing all sorts of scams, all sorts of things, and everybody knows who they are, okay? But they still exist. They are still relevant in their own little tiny bubble, in the pop culture bubble. And that's why I said there are so many people who keep exposing them as well. So technically, you will only get fooled by them till the time you have those energies. And once you learn your lesson that these people are just bogus, total bogus, or this person is complete bogus. This runner that you're feeling so bad about is a complete total bogus person. Total fraud. Total fake. As soon as you realize that, you will also forgive that person and you will let them go. Now, the reason why sometimes we see a lot of people changing, the runners changing or the family members changing and coming back to you and, being very nice to you, this happens because you are changing. So when you are changing and you call out, their bullshit, or you don't care about them, you do not codependent on them, you don't, bother about whether they come and go, whether they live this or that, you don't go and massage their ego, you don't do any of those things, you just keep telling them the truth, then they will also get sick of you, and they will stop being so nice to you once again. But if you have grown immensely and you have created your own ecosystem, you have created a life which is based on zero codependency, they will have no other option but to keep coming back to you. All you have to do is, you have to keep understanding that you have to let it go, you can't be codependent, you have to forgive. You have to forgive them. Every time they will hurt you, you have to forgive them, and every time you will become stronger and stronger, and they will be shocked to see where your strength is coming from. They will not be able to figure it out. They cannot figure you out after a certain point in time. Like, how do you get energized? They might even do the activities that you do, or they might be doing like those activities in a huge, they could be going to the temple a lot, they could be going to the church a lot, they could be doing so many religious activities that it can actually fool anybody. You can actually think, they are doing chanting like all day long. But trust me, as you go further in this journey, you will realize why we have mission work. Because, you cannot pray to God 24/7. Like, who is that person who can hold a rosary 24/7? No, you can't. So that's why you need to be on a mission, because the mission keeps you high in energy. It elevates you, because now whatever you're getting from source, whatever powers, gifts, whatever you have, health, everything you get from source, you are giving it to other people. You're distributing it to other people. You're sharing it with other people. And you're not expecting them to give you something in return. You're just okay with everything. You're okay with the whole system, how it's working out for you and for other people. But you always remember source. Your power comes from source. And this is the reason why people who don't serve others, people who are not in any mission, but they are very religious, they are also very unhappy. You can be like doing rituals every day, all day long, but you're not helping anyone, you're not following the truth, you're not working on yourself, not forgiving the runners. There's not always only one runner. There will be many runners, or there will be people who will misunderstand you, or they will just not like you because you're very genuine and authentic, and their ego kind of, they get irritated with it. They feel bad, like, how can a person treat me like this or tell me on my face the flaws. In fact, many a times it has happened. People have told me this, their own story. And there are so many that it's impossible to, name anyone, and it's impossible to believe that it's happening to only one person. So many people have told me that their relationship actually ended when they spoke truthfully and genuinely to their partner. Like the day they went up to them and criticized something, or they pointed out something that needs to be changed, that is very toxic, very unhealthy, that's the time the person dropped them. That's the time they said, I cannot. And they could be in a marriage, they could be in an engagement, they could be dating, they could be committed, they could even have children, they could be in a business, whatever it is, they don't like it that somebody pointed my flaws so blatantly, so openly, and still is not willing to leave me. Like, this person criticized me about something, and this person still is saying that I am there for you. I am there to hold your hand. I am there to stand by you. All you have to do is work on yourself and release these problems, because we should be a good team. We should be this and we should be that, because they have this whole imagination, living a life with a partner, with love, and doing good things for others. However, you will go through all of the pain and rigmarole and a heartbreak that the other person left you only because you told them something true. And sorry to say, but it is always the spiritual warrior who eventually succeeds. The matrix warrior will take time, guys. They will always take time, and that's why I tell you people just to do your inner work, just to focus on yourself. When they come back to you, how they come back to you, it is all predestined. Usually they come back to you because they don't listen, they don't like to listen to anyone. So they will do their own thing, and they will burn themselves, and they will hurt themselves, and the other karmics, they will discard them. So this game of discard will keep going on, guys and girls. But it's only to make you understand that you should not discard. What is true love? True love is you don't leave people. You don't just let go. You just don't leave them in a deserted island where there's no food, nothing. You just let them go. No, that is not correct. You stick by people, but you also have boundaries, and you also don't depend on them, but you still love them. You tell them that, hey, I'm always around when you need me, okay? I'm always there for you. You maintain communication, you're open. So the only time when you lose your sanity is when you just try to get them back like crazy, come to me, come to me, come to me. Don't do any of that. Just say what you have to and leave it alone. If they don't want to come to you right now, it's okay. They are suffering, they are miserable because they have started thinking, or they have assumed that they have certain qualities which work for them. Actually, they may be having some other qualities that work for them, but they are not aware about it because they're so fixated and so fascinated by a certain image, by a certain image they want to create it for themselves. They don't want to bring out their real personality because they fear that their real personality is not worthy of love. Their real personality is not good looking, it's not beautiful, it's not fascinating, it's not charming. Okay? But then, guys and girls, we have to accept ourselves as who we are. An elephant will be happy if the elephant thinks, and accepts who he is or she is as an elephant. If the elephant wants to become a tortoise or a rabbit or a deer or a lion or a tiger or a snake, it will never work out for the elephant. Okay? Even if the elephant thinks that, oh my god, I'm so huge and I don't like my skin color, I don't like my texture and this and that will not work for the elephant. So we don't see this in nature, we don't see this in animals. Animals accept themselves, love themselves, they are who they are. The plant kingdom, the flora, the fauna, all of them, they accept their natural selves. It's we humans, we don't. And we always chase something else. And that's why I'm saying this, that this runner and chaser dynamic has to end for those people, who are trapped in it. If it is not ending for you, no matter what you do, then you need to accept that maybe this twin flame journey is not for you, okay? Or maybe this twin flame journey is trying to tell you that you need to surrender. You need to let go. You need to let go, and you need to accept your flaws and work on those flaws, Don't run away from them. Don't be scared of them, okay? It's for your benefit, actually, that you have even these flaws. The spiritual warrior becomes happier and relaxed when they accept it, when they go like, yeah, fine. I had a bad experience. I had a bad experience because I was codependent, or I was like too charmed by someone's false words and love bombing. And sometimes people just come up and say that they respect you so much, they admire you so much, influenced by you and this and that. So these are the tactics, and these are the words, and these are the wordplay, these are the games that happen in love. But as long as love is a game, it will remain a game. As long as love is a true emotion, it will be true emotion. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I really appreciate all of you people who are here, who are present in the channelings, who are always doing inner work, who are real, who are genuine, who are loving, and who don't run away from inner work. Thank you so much for doing this for the planet and for yourself, and for love, for unconditional love. You're doing this in the name of love, because you want to present true love to the world. So thank you so much. One love and peace out, and I'll see you soon in another one.